Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the JoyRide Podcast. It's yours truly, Ben Psycho.
And Wanjiru.
Karibu sana kwa show yako.
Episode 4, man.
This is episode 4, man, and we really appreciate the feedback. Yeah. We love that you guys have decided to be part of this journey. You guys are Joyriders. We are
going with that one, yeah.
Yeah. And today, before we even continue, what Instagram complained that, we are neglecting them a lot of time. So I thought I'd read a few comments from Instagram, and we had, there's one from Wahora. A big shout out to Wahora, amazing content creator. Yeah, Wahora. I was like, this was such a good episode. Wangoi, the proverbial queen, Sana, lit, episode 1. Awesome content. Wamboi Kamari saying, yes, this was such a dope episode. Looking forward to more. Wangeshi Kesh. In fact, hata ka wash zikona Subaru asikanyage. I'm sure this is in reference
to the Subaru
story. The Subaru story that I told. Another one is also Mwendwa Mungati saying Subaru forums equals to bad companies that ruins good morals. It's a no-go zone. The Subaru garage. I love this podcast. Amin Jerry saying, I love this podcast. Can't wait for more content from you too. Thank you so much, Ami. We will definitely be giving you guys...
Is her name Ami or Amy?
That's how we do it. No, Amy is supposed to be with an E.
No, Amy. A-M-Y.
Ami tuambie. Amy, Ami. Tell us, is it Amy or Ami?
Yeah.
So today's conversation...
Purpose.
What do you want us to talk? What are we talking about today?
We're talking about purpose. That's why I'm even snuggled. So we could really delve...
Are we starting with the definition?
No.
Purpose.
Should we start with the definition?
From the Latin word pass.
Or should we just go straight to the questions?
Yeah, let's go straight to the questions.
They'll help us define and just break it down into everything, okay?
Let's start.
As usual, I start. I think I usually start.
Yeah, so that you can let me do all the thinking.
I started with number 2.
That's close.
At any point in your relationship, have you ever doubted that you were meant to be together based on what each of you wanted to achieve?
Ooh.
Previous relationships, hatuko on the same path.
Why? Tell us more. We'd really love to know.
Well, he had dreams. Yeah, you have just
I keep sharing. Sure, my exes were texting it, but Aki usiwaambie Joy, but I never mentioned their name. So
especially in one, he wanted to have a sports career.
Wow.
Like a career in the sports.
Is it running?
No. I will leave it at sports because I prefer to sports, and at this point it's not you. You're at sports. That's a good one. Yeah. He wanted to have a career in sports.
Yeah.
And as is the nature of the sports industry, I think there's more pay and more prospects if you played abroad. Outside, yeah. And so that became a very huge dream of his. And family was also very important to him. So if there was ever a point where we were to be together, then that would mean me relocating. Have you watched that film, Georgina? I Am Georgina?
No.
I know this footballer's name.
Who?
Cristiano. Yes, wife.
No. But imagine sasa wewe like ungekuwa hapo, ungekuwa unatumia viatu kwa Afrika kama Morio. I wear original Nikes. But now you see you crash that dream.
So yeah, that's in that sense. What about you?
Have I ever doubted?
At any point in your relationship, have you ever doubted that you were meant to be together based on what each of you wanted to achieve?
I mean, there was one...
Ama mkuwaifika hiyo place ya kuingia, what do you want to achieve?
What's your power?
Every time it was games.
No, do. We go to that point, but... yes, I doubt it at first because there was one who was just...
Ben, be honest, you were not that deep. You're fishing. You're fishing, but you were not that deep in your relationship.
I'm not fishing. I think there was... Of course, there are times where I wasn't sure where this is going. See, this is also based on past relationships. Yeah. There were some relationships where I didn't know...
I mean, we lay ourselves bare. Yeah.
I didn't know where this was going because one of them was super spiritual.
There was someone who was more spiritual than you.
we're talking about, fighting the spiritual warfare, like I was like, I'm into the...
why am I laughing? It's so funny.
And, like it was, the spiritual for demons. And I was like, man, so I'm going to be a warrior all my life, So when it got to that point, I wasn't really sure. I think that's the one I can remember. I really asked myself, because me, I love God, and I love my relationship with God. But say ikifika ni kwa demons, not just say because some dark forces. It gets a bit tricky.
Okay. In the more difficult, there's a part B.
Yeah.
In the more difficult moments in life, have you ever felt like your partner would achieve their purpose faster and easier without you? With you, I've always felt like we are intertwined, and maybe I'm preempting a lot of the questions that will come.
Yeah.
But if I were to focus on this, just look at how Ben, genuinely.
Yeah.
And I love your channel, I love my channel. But we've both struggled to get to numbers that this podcast.
Yeah. All those other 100,000 when you're watching video, hawajaona Yahweh, they've not seen my new song.
Yeah, but that's why I believe, like, with you, I've always felt like, actually, I've always felt that, and maybe I don't know if I should say this.
Just say it.
Yeah, because they never come for you.
They
always come for me.
Oh, you come for you.
But I think, I always feel like if we break up, then have you ever felt like that kind of soulmate, like you lose out even on your... Yeah. Or maybe we are preempting the questions, but yeah. And for you?
What's the question?
In the more difficult moments in life, have you ever felt like your partner have you ever felt like I would achieve my purpose faster without you? Like, those days you were broke?
No, I didn't think that. I didn't think you would achieve it.
You never felt like you were holding me back? Brian will come for me.
No. But, weirdly, maybe, I don't know if people might know this, when we started dating, you kind of blew up faster than me, even in the financial space. Like, I was already in the entertainment space. But you know how music goes with MCSK, and they want kutumia chwani or kutumia mia. You hata si pesa ya whatever. So I think your career started paying off financially
faster
before mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's just life. It's just the way it is.
Did you ever feel like you're holding me back?
No, I didn't feel that. I didn't feel that. In fact, I learned so much from your breakout. I didn't think YouTube would pay you. I learned that from your channel. I was so shocked.
And even to see content in that.
Content pay. And that's one of the things that also helped me adapt quickly also as an artist. That you have to merge the two.
And that's why you've been able now to do music.
Yes, now you have been able to do music,
content,
to do content all this time. It's been years of trying to find a balance on all of them. Okay, I hope today pick number one, man. Do you guys think this is number one? Let's open. It's number 7. Number of completion. If you were to pick one option right now to pursue either your purpose or your relationship, what do you think you would choose? Wow.
As I said, I think for me where I'm at right now, I feel like my relationship is intertwined with my purpose. And so that's why I feel like that's why something like the JoyRide is working the way it is, and people are relating the way it is, because of our relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't think it would either have to be either or. I think for me, they're
intertwined.
Yeah. For me.
For you.
They're intertwined, yeah.
For me as well, and this is not just trying to play safe. In fact, for maybe another question, a sub-question I'd throw at you, do you think the person you end up with, and maybe it's here, though maybe if we get there. If we get there,
we're preempting a lot
we'll have to say, but if it's not, before I forget it, do you think the person you marry or the person you're in a relationship with determines how far you go in life?
100%. 100%. I believe that strongly, that the person you decide to yank yourself to, either for life or for whatever amount of time that you choose to, I think they determine how far you're going to get, because even look at our situation.
Yeah.
I'm able to excel in the areas that I excel because you create an environment where I could be that.
Yeah.
If you would be like, oh my God, you're blowing up. You see, even what you were saying, like, I blew up, quote unquote, before you did.
Yeah.
So if you were like, hold it right there.
The woman needs to stay.
Exactly. That would have really affected my trajectory, but instead you created that environment. So I strongly believe who you're with. Yeah.
Oh, definitely, because there were some relationships that I was in, and I was not looking at the future the way I look at it now. Like I was not seeing myself. You know, growing up, I always grew up with dreams. Yeah, and as much as I came from a humble background, I grew up believing that one day I'll live well,
do all that you're doing,
I'll drive well, you know. So there were some relationships I was in. All I saw was darkness. KPLC umefanya ile kitu. You know, I'm not seeing so far ahead. So yes,
and I kept on telling you, come over to this side. Come over to this side.
With your prayer, eh?
Yeah.
By the way, are you doing a book? You need to sell it.
We'll package it. No, we can sell that book. We can sell that prayer.
Okay, then you do a conference.
Yeah.
Do you remember there was a conference?
They can make so much money.
Yeah, there was a conference at KCC.
Ladies.
Those conferences zinakuanga vizuri. Where?
So nice.
What have you done so far? This is a sub question. What have you done so far to ensure that your relationship does not jeopardize your purpose?
I think has been to, and maybe this may not work for everyone. I think on the JoyRide we just share based on our experience. I think I've purposely roped you in into what I am about and the things that I want to achieve.
Yeah.
That way you've understood my why, you've understood the how. And I think that has helped. I know that's not for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think for me it's worked really well. So I've literally roped you in.
Yeah.
And even in days when we never used to do content together, where I still had my own platform, and even in things like Maua, because I feel like that's an extension of what, with every business, it's usually an extension of my purpose.
Yeah.
You're still very much roped into the hows, the whys. I think that way, yeah.
Yeah, I think also what I've done to ensure that my relationship does not jeopardize my purpose is that from the get-go, I like explaining to my partner or the person I'm with what I want to achieve. So that if they don't want to be a part of it, wajitoe tu mapema. Hakuna haja to drag along.
Yeah, you do that a lot. You're like, I want to do this with music.
Yeah, I want to do this. I want to do this
with my business,
content and everything. Such that it's not like when you're getting ukombele and then your partner starts to doubt like who you are and all that stuff. And I remember when the first times we started dating with you, Kitambo, no, we were not even dating, we were just friends. And I think it was at Kaberere's memorial service. And I think...
When you refused to meet my mother?
Yeah, when I refused to meet your mom.
And now you look for opportunities to be with her.
Yeah, we talk. I'm her favorite. Don't forget I'm her favorite. And your family, or you guys in your family, you had already known a few people in the media spaces. And I used to be so jazzed that you guys mnasalimia tu maselebi wasi tulikuwa upcoming artists. They have just been blowing their phone. Hello, who ni crazy? But you guys were tight with them, and at that point, I knew you had a soft spot also for the industry, in as much as you really didn't like it that much, which you still do. Does your partner try and ensure that they do not jeopardize your purpose?
I think you do. You try. Let me see that question.
It's just imesomwa tu hivyo. Does your partner try and ensure that they don't jeopardize your purpose?
Hey, iko na part hadi D.
Iko na D ni Kiswahili.
Does your partner try and ensure that they do not? I think you do. Because you've understood my why, you've understood what I'm trying to do. I think it's become very, very... And I think that's what I was saying. It was very important for me to rope you in and let you know, like, this is the how, this is the why I'm doing it. And so for you, everything that you do, even as you align... And maybe it's God's grace that ours have mysteriously aligned. Yeah. That even as you pursue yours, it's never at my expense. It's always like, how can this complement whatever Shiro is trying to do?
Yeah, it's also, you have to be secure that, and this sometimes is normally a challenge for guys when their lady, like, you know, exceeds a lot more than succeeds and exceeds their expectations. And, you know, some guys start feeling a bit intimidated and threatened. It takes a real strong man to support their woman and not be intimidated by their dreams. Because that's just the person who she is out there, and that's the purpose that she has in life. You should not be threatened by that.
What do you think are some of the things that you have done to ensure that you don't jeopardize my purpose?
First of all, to understand it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I remember you started telling me about your purpose, but back in the days at Excanso, you told me I want to be a CEO by 28.
Look at me now, gosh, this is so uncomfortable, sorry.
Yeah, look at you now in Maua.
Yeah.
So from the early stages, I understood what you wanted to achieve and how.
Yeah.
So just buying into the vision and not seeing it, because I feel like if you win, I'm also winning.
I think
if I win, you win.
Yeah, I think the same thing, and I think we're preempting.
Yeah.
A lot of it, especially music, when back in the day when you were releasing Bomba, I really did not understand you had told me.
You told me you did understand.
Of course, when say you don't understand, I kill you even further.
Wow.
But I didn't fully understand what it was. But I think because I knew you and I knew the kind of person that you are, and I had faith.
So you just had the faith without even understanding.
Yeah, I had faith, especially the music element, Mitsiku. I took a bit of time.
Yeah.
And I never shared that with you. But I took a bit of time.
Who's laughing now?
Who's laughing now?
It's definitely me. No, it's you. All right. 15. Do you ever compare each other's journeys with other people's? I.e., you compare Ben to a mutual friend you may know who may have found his purpose earlier than Ben, or compare Wanjiru to a mutual. You know why I like this question? Because it doesn't compare us to social media personalities, which is usually the comparison. It's like...
Pick somebody you know.
No. So do you? I think I did that to you. I think I did that a lot.
Today you're confessing. We'll have a discussion after this.
Father, forgive me.
Yeah.
In your struggle years, especially again music, I was like, this thing is taking too long. Maybe Ben is not. You start even questioning things like, is Ben as talented? Is Ben as...
Yeah, just continue. We'll talk later.
I thought the JoyRide was a soft.
We'll talk later.
No, so it got to that point. But I think the more I speak to you and the more I see the work, the more I continue to see the work that went into it, that slowly was...
So would you compare me, did you used to compare me to other people who had found their purpose earlier?
Not compare, but wonder, like, why is this...
Is this taking too long? Okay, that's
For
tricky.
you?
No, it's just that when you told me you want to do YouTube, and I was just like, I've been in YouTube for a while. I only have 1,000 subscribers.
Why do you think this is gonna...
this goes. So at that time, you remember at that time, Mazay, you were hustling, man. Can you tell people some stories?
It's my story to tell.
No, I can't.
I'll have my CTA
I was part of the journey. So
you can say.
I remember there was one time we were so broke, you had to shave your hair because you couldn't afford maintaining it. Yani hata Kenyatta market huko umefika hata bei ya Kenyatta market.
Sikuwa nadoya hiyo.
Yeah. And so I saw this joke, somebody saying that walking in Kenyatta market with an afro is like a goat at an auction. You know, to go, excuse braids, you know.
Yeah.
So I remember that time.
Yeah.
What does it feel like when your purpose is aligned? As a couple, what does it feel like to know your purpose is in sync?
I don't even know if I have words.
You can do a song or a poem.
Let me say this. Now, it's seamless. Now it feels like there's a greater sense. Like, like our marriage is for more than just... Like we are at the core and and that celebration is for us.
Yeah.
But it feels like with platforms like the JoyRide, it feels like it's for more than just us. And it's a beautiful feeling because I believe in a lot of things are more than we are created to be more than just about ourselves. So how can I edify myself? I strongly believe that we are created to be more. So it feels good.
Yeah.
But before we got here,
the struggle
there
years,
was struggle years.
But I feel like the struggle years also, they kind of bond you guys more. If you struggle with your guy, because I know a lot of people. I know some of the people I work with in production. Like he'd tell me stories of how they'd go shoot and they didn't even have fare. He's just there with the wife, and then now they're doing so well, and you can tell their bond is very, very strong. It's not because they know each other's hustle. Na kuna hiyo madarao, you know, like you were together since the days in the gutters, and now you're together in the days on the platters. Just trying to have to rhyme. You
know, something Ben told me, like Kitambo, when we had nothing to do with it. So you're trying YouTube. So it was early on in our relationship.
And we had time.
Yeah, we had a lot of time. I had just quit my job. So we were just trying to figure out YouTube. Alafu, before things get busy, you're just shooting maybe videos. Alafu, all this you've edited.
You're free.
There's no work to do. And so we used to meet up a lot.
Yeah.
And I used to feel bad because I'm a busybody. I like to be busy. And Ben used to tell me every single time that at least we are working on our relationship.
Like, that's the biggest joke. It's paying money now.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. I reminded you the other day. And you were like, well, at least we're making money now. So, yeah.
The days of the hustle.
Yeah.
This is 16. Nobody's getting number 1, man. I need to get
Actually,
number 1.
I'm the one who's supposed to be reading.
Okay, take.
How does it feel for you? You have an answer.
Does it feel what?
For us to be, when our purpose is aligned.
I feel like there's a greater responsibility to also ensure that the relationship is okay.
A1.
Yeah, it's okay. So, because the relationship
Does that mean we'll be spending more time together now?
We do spend a lot of time together.
More time.
More than what we do
Yeah.
already. Tafute super glue tushikanishe hapa sasa tuko tunatembea pamoja basi. But yeah, I feel like now there's more responsibility to it. So you kind of don't want to take things lightly. And if you jeopardize this, you might be jeopardizing your purpose as well.
Love it. Oh, this is a long one. As a couple, you must see other couples who may be further ahead in their journeys or some that are a little behind. Like drive to your couple's friend's house in Muthaiga and they have 6 cars.
Oof.
Do you have a friend in Muthaiga who has 6 cars?
Muthaiga view Pangani ama Muthaiga, the real Muthaiga.
And living the dream and seem to have life figured out.
Yeah.
How do you not let comparing and contrasting affect your relationship, but keep trusting the process?
Maybe the reference can be when we were still trying to come up.
Oh, we haven't talked about our struggle days.
Hey, Maze, those days were hard. And it was years. It was not just 1 year or 2 years. It was like, I'd say,
consistent.
3 years.
May I remember things took off 2020.
2020. Even for you?
No, for us.
Oh, for us. Yeah, for us,
like,
for us,
I think
2020.
I think I can be doing well, but as long as you're struggling, and because we're so synced, it still doesn't feel like
Yeah.
So there's a celebration of me, and on an individual level, I feel great.
Yeah.
But also when I come on the relationship, there's a desire for you to make it as well, so that we could celebrate in that. Yeah.
The comparison would be there at times, you know. There are times when you'd feel discouraged, you know, because, you know, some of the people... Because you see now, when you finish campus, you're more or less on the same graph. And then like 1 year, some people are... Other people are just way...
keeps widening.
And so now you start getting the thoughts of maybe you're doing something really wrong.
That was you from 20.
Yeah, maybe there's a mistake.
To 2020.
It was earlier. There's something you're doing wrong, or maybe you just don't have what it takes. In fact, it took, if you notice, even when people started loving our videos, we still used to doubt those videos. Because we had been doing this for a while and we felt like we are not blowing up as some people. Because we started off with some people and some people... they blew up and just took off, you know. So it's later on when you start understanding that it's just how the process works.
Yeah.
So when things are working well right now with the JoyRide, this has been years of This has been years of doing whatever we do. And so yes, those times we'd compare ourselves to people. But also that journey also teaches you a humility such that when you're ahead of people, and ahead in quotes, because it's just the way normal people see ahead. It makes you understand that the people who are somehow behind, in quotes again, it's not that they're any less. It's not that they're any dumb. Yeah, it's just like the way unaweza panda maembe ichukue 1 year, upande mahindi ichukue 6 months, whatever.
Either way,
zita example. Choice ID, but it's a different type. It has nothing to do that there's something wrong with you.
I think also it boils down to a lot of individualism, because I had to work on my comparing myself, say, if I struggled with that. And I think if on an individual level I compare myself a lot to other people, it will trickle down to how I see our relationship vis-a-vis others. So I think there was a lot of, we had to work individually on ourselves. So you work with your struggles with, say, the industry, for example. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about people who've gone ahead of you? And figure out your feelings about that and deal with them. As well as me. And then now I think that also helped us deal with the relationship.
And moving with your pace really works because it also eases you some unnecessary pressure. And remember those times, man. And kuna times ulikuwa na complaints kupeleki date and all. I remember one time we went to About Time. And they had 5K exactly. I didn't know that your place mzee, like 5K is still not enough, Like ungeitisha hata tu maji beyond that, Ngebaki hapo nikitrim hizo fences up, like just taking care of their garden,
You did well.
And I remember those days. I look back and you just laugh. But then you also learn, and then you realize that just move with your pace, man. Like just go.
Now you see, like you're not in that space anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, you still can't take me to About Time, and it's not because of lack of money. It's just because it's lack of seriousness.
No. So we went to Ate. Called Ate.
As a family, the entire family.
Okay. It still counts.
I got number 5. Do you think that who you are, and I think we answered this, or who your partner is, determines how far ahead you get in life, or is that also based on your individual traits? A little bit of both.
That one you've answered, though.
Yeah, I think
the person you date.
You didn't answer, by the way.
I did
I
answer.
answered. No one who said.
Yeah, the person you date will determine how far you go. You see, especially as men, we move when we know like the girl or the woman you have really believes in you. If the lady you're dating already doesn't believe in you as a guy, that's the first dent. So by the time I'm going to meet watu wa Twitter wamekongojea huko criticize, you already so demoralized, But if you know you have the support of your lady, you can take up a few arrows in the field, because the girl still loves you and she's gonna support you. So especially for men, I think the support of the lady is very, very important. I don't know about women.
And even not that, somebody who can, I don't know who was saying this. Maybe it might be Rotimi. Who was saying that how important.
Rotimi, you were saying it in a song.
No, I don't know where I heard it.
Yeah.
I think it was him, but he was saying how it has worked for him that he got a woman. I think Vanessa.
It's Vanessa.
Okay. Who is able to multiply his wealth. So it's somebody like unampea one bob and is able to make, and the lady has been able to make 10 bob from that one bob.
Definitely.
And I think he was saying how that has worked to his advantage.
The person you're with will determine that a lot.
100%. Do you want to go?
Yes, sir. Hope this is number 1.
Hopefully I can understand
number
the
10. You won't understand.
Go.
How do you handle instances where your partner tells you about something that they want to achieve and it's not that you do not support or believe in them, but you find it difficult to see how they will achieve this?
Why does it feel like the person who wrote these questions knew?
Yeah, they knew this too.
My journey about you and music. Let me see that question so that I can find a diplomatic answer.
How do you feel? How do you
handle instances where your partner tells you about something that they want to achieve and it's not that you do not support or believe in them, but you find it difficult to see how they will achieve this? That's music with you.
Oh, for real?
So you are telling me, am I laying my soul to bare?
No, just we'll talk about this later. Who knows?
No, but I think I saw it in you. But you see what your eyes can see. I just didn't see how. And I think in that moment,
I don't know. Do you want me to cut my trachea?
And I think in that moment, what I decided to do, I will support you blindly. If you believe it in your heart, I won't question it. I won't even ask myself. And I think that's why you struggled a lot with like, oh, why aren't you sharing my music?
Oh, yeah. It took a while.
Yeah.
I used to love it when people come at you low-key. Like, muuliza madam.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think I made a conscious decision that I will support blindly.
You've just told us on this channel that previously in your previous relationship...
Yeah.
Why didn't you believe in that as well?
Because it was at my expense.
Oh,
I wasn't ready to sacrifice.
Oh. That was also for you? Nikes. For me, I think...
But then when I say these things about your music, do they hurt you?
No, don't care. I mean, it's a lot of people. Even I also I've always doubted it. I was like, this is a joke, God,
Yeah.
But what I'd say is after you proved me wrong with the YouTube, I promised myself I'll never doubt it again.
Oh, so everything, that's why everything I do, you just support.
Yeah, because I was like, I was wrong once, and maybe I was wrong because I was short-sighted, so I just need to believe big. Plus, you see, there's something we've been learning in church about when two people agree. Unity is a very important element of success.
I agree.
So if it's with your team, if it's your production team, if it's in your relationship, whenever two of you agree to be on a journey, the chances of you succeeding are almost 100%. It might just take a while, but whenever just two people who are in agreement agree, it will succeed.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of time. So I was proven wrong once.
You are not ready to do it. It's my turn.
Oh. Okay.
It's just that I have to double read, so it looks like it will. Okay. How did you deal with your partner's dreams coming true and purpose being fulfilled before yours came to life? In our view.
I was actually inspired and challenged because I remember when you started doing these YouTube videos. So there were some people I was chasing in the industry for them to play my music and to also ask them for brand advice. I've always been that guy asking for brand advice since I joined the industry, and I used to go for like the top shots.
So you went
and they taught me a lot.
Small ones.
And by the way, I learned so much from those big shots. So there was one big shot I remember sending your video, and I later on realized they were part of This Is Us team. When I sent him your video at first and he liked what you had done, I started getting like, okay, so what is this space and what is this blowing up? Because you remember those were the first YouTubers to actually blow up from Kenya. So I was like, what is this thing? And I became more curious about it. Because I also love growing brands and I love conversations about brands. So to me, it was more of an inspiration. I wasn't jealous or something. I wasn't jealous. I was just like, we're going to catch up anyway. So it's quite jealous. What about you?
How do I deal with my partner's dreams coming true and purpose being fulfilled before mine?
Before yours?
I think the same way.
But was it before yours?
That's what I was wondering, but I didn't say it. Someone might come for me.
Okay, but that's a good question. Let's go back. In your past relationships, did you ever get to a point where you succeeded more than your partner then?
Yes.
Oh, how did they take it?
They were threatened. It felt that way. It wasn't outright. But I think whenever somebody comes and tries to curtail you in certain ways, it speaks volumes about how they feel about your success.
Your career mostly has been in with regards to talking. I remember I took you to an MCing gig once at KU.
You were trying to heal me, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a brother gotta try all moves. You know, you move in as a promoter, you move in as a manager, you try all means. So, like, how would he feel threatened? Was he like alikuwa nakataza kuongea kizungu? Huku kwangu kizungu haiongelewi kwa nyumba, tunaongea lugha ya taifa.
No, it wasn't like that, but you could see the undertones. Like, you know, I think even from where I sit again, I think I have to give that disclaimer, is that when somebody else's dream, you're like, okay, you will not, I want to do this, and you decide how you fit in this.
Yeah.
I think that's already indicative of how you feel about if I succeed.
Okay.
So
they don't really consider what you want.
Yeah.
Crazy. Number 6. How important is your individual purpose to you? How important is your individual purpose to you?
Oh, it means everything to me. I think it's why I wake up every morning. It's why I am passionate about these things that I do in every sphere of my life. It's why like I'm trying to do Maua because I feel like women should always feel confident in what they wear. It's why I feel we should do this JoyRide podcast because I feel like there should be a space where people get to hear about certain conversations with regards to life and relationships.
Yeah.
So I think it's really my driving force.
Yeah.
What about you?
Same as well. I feel like a life without purpose is really not worth living. I don't think whether you're getting money or not, if you're just making money and you don't have a clear purpose or a reason why you live, a reason that's beyond you, it has to be of the benefit of other people.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a life worth living.
Yeah.
And I think you start living when you start living out your purpose. It also, when you live out your purpose, you sometimes don't even notice how long you're taking to hustle. Like inaweza kuwa ni 7 years that you've been doing something, but you're like, that looks like a short time because you've been enjoying what you're created to do. Yeah.
Let me throw another question back at you.
You can't, and there's a part B. But anyway, throw it.
Wait, what's the part B?
If at the end of your life, you haven't achieved your purpose because of your relationship, would you regret it?
I think so, I would.
Definitely.
It comes, the purpose is really, really important to both of us. So I know, and I think that's why it's really important. That's why I was saying things like music. I would feel so terrible about myself if I would have been the one to tell you, okay, now you need to quit this thing. It's not making sense. Yet it's what look at what Tawala has done, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yet it was only a thing of time.
Yeah.
But because I wasn't patient enough or I didn't see it the way you saw it, I was quick to cut it.
Yeah.
I would feel terrible. And I think that's why I keep telling you that for you, even when I don't 100% agree with it, I will support it because I don't want to be the one to stand between
me and my purpose.
Yeah.
I think it's very important for your partner to support you in your purpose. If they don't, you might actually have what it takes for you to make it. But if they don't, I feel like it's a heavy, what's that thing that was Urusha? It's a heavy anchor and it will delay you achieving your purpose. Ask us.
Oh, was it your turn? I don't know.
I've sacrificed.
17.
On the previous episode.
What has this pursuit of purpose taught you as an individual and as a couple? I think you've touched on it. Is that it really has to be about, it can't be about me.
Yeah.
It has to be about the greater.
Yeah.
It just
has to be about the greater good of other people apart from you.
Yeah.
Money should be secondary. And I know that's very controversial, but money should be secondary once you start achieving your purpose. For example, when we came together, I started changing also my perspective of music. You know, you remember at that time the way like in the industry, we always used to be little minions for somebody else. And you never used to like that. You used to tell me, why would you be KYM for somebody just for them to play you on TV?
Yet there's digital.
But that was like standard. Like even the big acts would do the same thing, you know?
I didn't understand.
Until hivyo niko like, okay, umdema kona mambo mingi.
Yeah, but I was telling you, like, people are blowing up on digital.
Yeah, so when we came together, I started looking at things from a different perspective.
Okay.
And that's really worked for us.
Yeah.
I think ni mimi.
Okay, sorry.
But anyway, there's a review footage to nani anafaa. Number 9, how do you pursue your purpose as a couple?
I think A is what we're doing here with the JoyRide.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, there's that.
Okay, you want to give...
Oh, you're just going to give that one?
Yeah, you give one.
How we pursue our purpose as a couple.
Dandia tu.
Of course.
Okay, but explain.
Of course.
B.
I think with the JoyRide, but also being into each other's support system. I'm in Maua. Like saying nimejua penye material
na Ben hukasirika about Maua more than I.
Yeah, when I see people steal your designs and you're like, hapana tusimuongeleshe. Like, what? Any design amebeba hii address? You know, being in each other's purpose also really facilitates. It pushes it faster, it accelerates it. So I think that's one of the ways we pursue each other's purpose as a couple.
I'm really excited about the JoyRide. And maybe that's why people are relating to it as much as they are.
Just sharing our stories.
Yeah. Have you ever felt purposeless?
Yes, at the start. When things are just going south, you start doubting you even doubt your own
sanity.
If you're mad. You know, you ask yourself, are you mad?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Ben, you used to be smart in school. What is this nonsense you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
But eventually when it started to open up and it started to pay off, all that started making sense.
Yeah. I think for me, I did.
Purposeless.
Yes, especially after that to graduate uni, I've quit my job. I did that 3-month stint. I've quit now. I want to do YouTube full time. There are no gigs. Nobody understands what it is. Do you remember that time? I was like, okay, I have no money. I can't ask my parents for money because it's enough. They're giving me food and shelter. And I'm the one who chose to quit this job. I've refused to go for that connection that they've given me.
Yeah, I remember. It was a big company.
Yeah, and then now we were like, I need money to move around to be able to shoot these videos. Then we started selling my clothes. We set up an Instagram store.
Yeah. But we did that.
Yeah, then I modeled my clothes. I was trying to have like a thrift store type of thing. Nobody bought, nobody followed that page. Thanks very much. By the way. I know, but I think what this part B of the question, what did your partner do about it? I think Ben, you became hands on deck. Like Ben was the one taking those pictures of those. He had no money to support my dreams of doing YouTube. But you were like, okay, you need us to sell a few clothes. Let's take pictures of it.
Kama ni nguo tunauza leo, ni ya leo.
So I think that's just constantly supporting.
But people don't know. Maybe you've been through a lot as well. You remember there was a time you used to work as was it customer care, and you would work overnight. You'd work the whole night.
Nalala kwa studio.
Yeah, mazim nalala huko.
Those ringback tones that you guys put
What were you doing?
We used to edit them. You see those ringtone. Thank you for calling Stella. Stella is a name that means.
So did you used to do those videos?
No, I thought I was going to do the videos.
Yeah.
I ended up editing them.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Can you do one for me? Thank you for calling Ben Psycho. Ben Psycho means success.
Those are the ones we used to edit. Those are the ones we used to edit. Okay. 3A, in your definition and experience with relationships, have you ever been in a relationship with someone who doubted your purpose? Doubted, I think the word would be curtailed. So like they're trying to...
Kukuweka chini.
Yeah.
Kwambia niroka muno.
Yeah.
Shuka.
You?
Yeah, I've been in relationships where some of my girlfriends didn't even know I was an artist. Just like, Maze, we dropped your ngoma last week.
What did you do about it? I left the relationship.
Keep pushing. If the closest people to you don't know you're a musician,
then
you're not pushing. So,
your own girlfriend
doesn't know that you just dropped a new song last week. Then you need to push more.
Keep pushing.
It was wild, man. It was wild.
What would you do if you doubted your partner's purpose? Me here, because I've spoken about it with music. You. I think I used to feel really, really bad about myself.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I used to feel like...
As you should. Have you ever forgiven yourself? Have you ever forgiven yourself?
I have.
You know, by the time I'm releasing Bomba, but let me tell you, I've tried almost all genres. I even did reggae, bro. Like, that song used to be played at Ghetto Radio. Guys would love that jam.
Then you went to... Okay, we should get...
everything.
We came to the shoot with Wera. Yeah, Bomba.
Yeah, and
we were in the car, we were like...
And you know why we did Bomba? At that time, Bazookies were just blown up. So we were like, you know what, bro? Industry sahi.
I remember at the shoots. It was meteorological.
Yeah, it was meteorological.
I remember we sat in the car with Wera. We were like, I don't know what this guy is doing. I don't know this song.
Man,
this song is trash, but we'll keep supporting.
I tried everything. At one point, even sang Tarab, man.
No.
Remember with Lile, man? Nobody played that jam, man. What are you learning? I am Fata.
But do you understand how that would put me in a difficult position?
I tried everything. I tried all genres, man. Like,
it was a matter of time.
By the time I'm doing this Kinasjui new song, I have given up on blowing up. I just want to sing to God.
I just want to use my talent for the glory of God.
That's what I told the producer, the Tawala producer. He asked me, so what do you want to achieve? I was like, mi nimechoka. Nataka tu kuimbia Mungu. Man, Santara. I was like, nilikuwa najua pwani nitakuwa naingia huko.
What is the purpose of your relationship or marriage? Why are you married? Priest of the home, do you want to answer that?
Maybe we start with the...
Exactly. We don't have no titles. Priest of the home.
Why? What's the question?
Why are we married?
That seems like an easy question.
You don't know why you... It just seemed like the right thing to do at this point in time.
I mean, I'd say I'm sure about this person, about doing life with this person.
Okay, I think what I left out is what is the purpose of our marriage?
It looks simple, eh? Okay, you now watch. What is the purpose of your marriage if you're married? Or if you're in a relationship? What is the purpose of your relationship? I'd say so that we can now do life together in a covenantal way that is accepted by God and humans.
1 out of 4.
I tried.
Anyway, if that's what your understanding of what our marriage
purpose
is.
Why are we married?
I think based on what the JoyRide has become, and I think I didn't understand until we are here and we've done it, is to inspire people.
Yeah.
And there's a way that our chemistry does that.
Yeah.
There's a way, even like when we were doing just something as simple as makeup on each other, that made people happy.
Yeah.
And I think that's why.
That's why you're married? For YouTube. Tabu funga hizo cameras kwanza. For YouTube. Nothing organic. Okay, sweet. You're married now. But did you feel like with every relationship you may have had, always dated with a purpose? And funny. You're married now. But did you feel like with every relationship that you may have had, you always dated with purpose?
Ben, why don't you answer that?
But then every relationship I was in since Form 1, I always used to think we end up marriage. All of them. Man, why did I used to do that to myself, man? I think, and it's not talked about a lot, but sometimes you just date just to date.
To find yourself.
For character development, part of it.
To get stories that make others laugh.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, not all relationships have to end up in marriage.
Yeah.
It's just the fact and it's just the reality.
Yeah.
We put that pressure on a lot of people,
You'll
especially
kiss many frogs
Christians.
before you find your prince.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last question before we go to the special.
Guy.
Oh, you. Yeah, with every relationship where you were in, did you used to date with purpose?
No. What is this? I think... I think there are those that it looked like it could be.
Materialize.
Until you get a bit of character development, you're like, maybe, no. And then we get in too deep, you think it's going to, and then now so it used to be up and down. So you enter not looking for anything substantial, and then it becomes something substantial. So it was that constant shift.
But you at least used to try. Mimi nilikuwa naingia headstrong. Mimi nilikuwa nakuwa heartbroken hivyo. Nilikuwa naingia headstrong najua. This is for life, mzee. After 2 weeks, shadampiwa.
I found question 1. How crazy is it that it's the last?
Yeah, it's the last one.
Do you have a purpose as a couple? We do. We've answered
Yes, we do have a purpose
Yours
as a
is
couple.
to fulfill the covenantal?
No. I think our purpose as a couple is to inspire.
You're doing it for YouTube?
People, no, not even on YouTube, but even in real life.
IRL.
To be a blessing to people.
Amen. Is your purpose as individuals different from your purpose as a couple, or is it complementary?
Pardon?
Is your purpose as Ben different from karaoke, or is it complementary?
It's complementary.
It's complementary. For sure. Yeah. That one doesn't even need explanation.
Yeah. So this is the special question. It's a bonus question. You have to be honest. You have to promise that I, Wanjiru, will be honest.
Just ask your question.
You have to promise I, as Wanjiru, will be honest.
Kalamba Kidole.
Yes, Kalamba Kidole. What is Kalamba Kidole?
You just answer.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Just ask. Sorry, I just realized I had to say, you just answer.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how difficult is it to answer these questions and talk about purpose honestly?
Purpose is not hard. Because I think we've had time. You remember that period I told you, Ben told me we're working on our relationship? I think we are reaping off those benefits. So I think we solidified a lot of that.
Yeah.
So right now it just feels like we are 100% aligned. What about you?
On a scale of 1 to 10, you've not how easy is it to talk about it?
9.
9.
10.
I'd also give it a 10 because I see the way people sometimes admire the success of, let's say, our joint ventures, and it's a beautiful thing. But the thing that makes it easier for me to talk about this is because I have been there when it was a real struggle. The ghetto. I remember you'd come visit me in Satellite, and I'd have to give you a push all the way to Kasa na matatu. So if it's rush hour, Kwenda Tao is off-peak, so the car is going empty. We get to Tao to go to where you guys used to stay. You have to queue. And sometimes we'd have to fight to get into the M3. So I fight, I get inside, and then I book the seat. And then go like, excuse, muite, uyo yellow, kiti yake kuja, you know.
Yeah.
So when you see life through all these angles.
Egg lover.
Pupa. Yeah. When you look at life from all these angles, you start to realize that it might inspire somebody out there.
Yeah.
And it's most probably common across the board, I assume.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one. The purpose sounded deep. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. For those guys who are listening to us on the audio podcast platforms.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Leave a comment. Follow us at the JoyRide Podcast on Instagram. Follow us. Individual pages.
Yes.
Where?
Wanjiru.
Ben Psycho, BNCYCO. I have a new song.
Why do you have to say it?
Because every time some people would spell Ben Psycho with BENPS.
Or like psycho, or like cycling.
Yeah, cycling, cyclers. Like, we have been called names. Like, I'm okay at this point. Okay. So make sure you follow us, subscribe, share this video. We love you guys. Have a blessed week.
See you episode 5.